On today's episode of The Woofy Show, we're going to be talking about scent detection, and more specifically, kind of 5 tips for your first scent trial.
Welcome to The Woofy Show. Join hosts Brian and Magda as they bring you insights, real stories, and smart tips for raising happy and healthy dogs.
And I think, just to quickly explain why we're doing this, is we actually just did our first scent trial, a month ago, 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a couple months ago. We've been meaning to do this for a while with both Maple and Aspen. It was our first time ever kind of competing or whatever in scent. And we kind of want to talk about our experience and some tips to kind of make your first one go well.
Well, it's kind of intimidating for a person to like start competing in any sport.
Yeah, their very first time. Yeah.
I actually had to message like 3 other people on Instagram just to like ask them like, hey, like, so I want to do this thing. Like, what should I expect?
And so we did a class. Well, you did a class. I guess 2 classes, one with Maple, one with Aspen for scent detection. But there's so many different organizations as well.
Yeah.
So I think what you learned in class was not the same organization as the one we went and did too.
Yeah.
So we're like,
so we did the CKC
scent CKC scent trial,
which is Canadian Kennel Club for those who don't know. And all organizations that pull out the scent trials have different rules and regulations and things like that. So it's kind of like all just really complicated, which is why it helps if you know people who already compete in this sport to ask them. And they're usually super helpful.
Yeah.
It was like kind of like overwhelming, but I guess we have learned a lot. I kind of want to ask you, like, what did you think, or like, what are your feels about scent?
I guess. Okay. So before we give you our tips, so we'll talk about it and just quickly our experience. So scent was never something I wanted to do. It was just slow and boring. Like, I like agility and fly ball and dock diving and like, let's go. So scent is something you wanted to do. And so you took the classes, which is fine. And you showed me a little bit of what you learned. And then finally like, oh, hey, there's a trial. I want to go do it. And I'm like, sure, go and do it. But you're like, well, I can't take both dogs because they're at the same level on the same day. You'd have to go 2 separate days. So she's,
Because obviously if you find the scents in a location and you have multiple dogs, then you know where the scent is, which is why you can't take a second dog to do the same run.
Yeah.
Because you will know.
So then I was like, okay, fine. Okay, fine. And at that point we were doing class with Aspen. You were doing class with Aspen. I think there was like 2 or 3 more classes left. So I was like, okay, I'll tag along for a little bit just to see. And, you taught me a little bit of the ins and outs and just what they have to do. And so I went, and you went first, just the way the number, like how they put the dogs in order. And obviously we didn't talk to each other in between because we didn't want people to think that we were like cheating or you were telling me where they were. So like,
I wanted it to be fair. Like
of course. We wanted to see how, so I went with Maple and you went Aspen. You came out and just gave me like the thumbs up. And I was like, oh, no pressure now, no pressure. But
the nerves, like
it was a lot of fun. It was actually a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it. I mean, I almost messed up by, not understanding Maple's cue, or maybe understanding it too well.
Just to clarify, Brian has been handling Maple with like scent for about, I don't know, like a week? 2 weeks?
It was like 2 weeks. We practiced like usually every other day for 2 weeks, like leading up to the trial. So I was brand new. So the point of these tips is like, yes, taking a class helps a little bit just because then you kind of learn about the different odors and scents. But realistically, you can get all of this stuff online and practice by yourself and have zero experience other than what you, who literally were in the classes, coming home and be like, all right, we learned this. Let's practice.
That just means I'm a great teacher.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun. It was really good. Am I obsessed with it? No. Will I do it again? I guess so. But like, I'm not. We were at the novice level or beginners or starters or whatever kind of organization you're with. So it was, it was the easiest. But then now I say that there were a lot of people that failed. So
exactly. So like,
so it was good. I had fun. It's a cool little sport to do with it's a fun little activity to do with your dog. So
okay. So from my perspective,
yes, that's my
I love scent, and the reason why I love scent so much is because all I have to do is just like watch, right?
Yeah.
Like most of the work is actually done by the dog. Like it is a team sport and it is my job to like pick up on a cue. However, I don't actually have to learn any of like the tracks or signs like you do in rally or like
timing for fly ball or
it's just
the
me
commands
and
for
my
agility.
dog,
Yeah.
and it's just their nose, and we're just testing that ability. That's why I love it. And we have done scent work of some kind with Maple ever since she was little.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of
within the
something
first,
that
like,
I
few
really
months.
enjoyed doing. Yeah. However, when it came to the trial, I just felt like physically sick. I'm like, I'm going to vomit. Like, I can't do this. Like, what to expect? And then we did so before you actually, like, do your search, you go through, like, they show you exactly what the search area looks like.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
do
that's right. Like a walkthrough. If you look at another sport, yeah.
So I didn't know that was going to happen. And I
Oh,
was
yeah,
so
I guess
glad
I
it
didn't
did.
either. Yeah,
because
that's
I
so
didn't know
true.
what to expect. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. You just like come in and they let you through the door and you just like do your search.
Yeah, when they were like, oh, well, this is the containers where they search in boxes, it literally was like 6 boxes sitting on the floor. And I was like, oh, that's exactly like what they did in
Yeah.
class. So it's like, okay.
And when we did the walkthrough, it was like, oh, okay, like now I know
Yeah.
what's it going to look like.
Yeah, because we've never
My
been to this
mind-
place before where they
Yeah.
had it. It was just like, where are we?
Yeah, so I felt like my mind was like instantly at peace as soon as I saw exactly what the search area is going to look like.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great, and we just nailed it. Both of our girls got their novice title
Yeah.
in scent detection,
Yeah.
and instinct title as well. We did both instinct.
Oh, yeah, which is like a
and novice.
super beginner, let's like test it out kind of thing.
Yeah. So I was just super proud of them. So
So,
this is
yeah.
why we're here, to talk about some tips and tricks of what to do and what not to do and how to succeed like we have. So.
Yeah, and that's coming from very little experience. Like I said, we weren't even done Aspen's classes. Their trial was the day before her last class. And yes, you did scent with Maple, but that was like freaking 2 years ago almost now. So like we did forget. But so yeah, I guess, well, you're the teacher for this one. So what's one of the things, what's one tip people can learn?
Practice. Like as much as possible before the
I hate
trial.
practicing. I hate it sometimes.
Because there were so many dogs that were doing the trial who failed. And I can guarantee these dogs did not practice at all.
No, well, they would have went to class maybe,
Yeah.
and then that was it.
But like you have to practice in different environments.
Yeah.
Like what did we do? We went literally out for a walk.
Yeah.
And we took little like scent tubes with us,
Yeah.
and we would just like pick a location.
Oh yeah, and we did it in like the
And
park. No,
We would like turn around so we didn't see where the scent was,
Yeah.
and we would just test each other, being like, okay, like go
and so
search
we
it.
practiced like way above. So we like practiced a lot, and I was like, man, like we even practiced in the garage, and we were hiding things, and it's like this is taking a while. Like we were practicing at like a way too high level
Yeah.
for what actually was. We were like way over prepared, which I think is why we succeeded so much. But
But I think
that's
it's
a good
better
thing.
to
Yeah.
be over prepared than under prepared,
Yeah.
because then, like, you did all the work possible for this trial. And when you go in there, you know, like you have certain type of expectations that your dog will do well.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was talking to somebody at the trial, and I was like, my dog found the scent way faster than I expected.
Yeah.
And she made a comment being like, well, you can't really expect anything.
Oh.
And I was just like, like, I don't think I agree with that.
But that's like any other sport. If you have that kind of like attitude and be like, well, whatever they do. And it's like, well, no, that you should have trained and practiced
Yeah.
enough that like, yes, they should succeed. They might not, but like you
it
can't
might
have
be
that
just
like,
an off day.
it's
And
not
that
cheap.
would have been
Trials
then-
are not cheap.
Yeah, like to me, that would have been unexpected.
Yes.
If my dog like royally, effed up
Yeah.
on the day.
Yeah.
It'd be just like, what just happened? Like, this is weird.
Exactly. I think our biggest thing with Maple that she was going to like, because you're not supposed to like knock things over, and Maple's like, we trained her to do fly ball and agility and stuff. She's
Yeah.
very excited. So when we practice home, she just like slams into the boxes
She
and
slams
flips
in,
them, and
she like
so
drools.
she was
She's
very good.
excited.
But so that was like, if we were going to fail, I thought that would have been it. I think that was the biggest concern, because we practice a lot, and we did practice slowing it down with her, because she would be like, it's here, and smack it with her
Yeah.
paw and flip it over. And it's like, it is there, but you're not getting rewarded until you like calmly just lay in front of the box.
Yeah.
And so that's what the practice is about. It's not just practice for them to find it. It's practice their like cues. Is it called
Yeah.
the cue? Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't
How
remember. Or the
they-
alert.
How they alert where the scent is, right? But also like your handling skills, right? Because there are a lot of rules, like you're not meant to have a tight pressure on a leash when you walk around with your dog and things like that. But that's just like technical stuff. But yeah, one thing that I would definitely recommend, like when you first going like of thinking about going into a scent trial, is to really like prepare yourself and like practice in different locations, practice indoors, practice in your garage, practice in your yard, practice like everywhere you can think of, right? Go to classes. Yeah. That's also different environment.
Yeah, exactly. Right? With other dogs around. Now, obviously, when you do a trial, other
I was
dogs
actually making a joke to you that we should go to like a pet-friendly store and I should just like let my dog search. But then you were like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm like, maybe not. That might be a little bit too much.
If you went to like Canadian Tire on like a Tuesday morning, maybe that'd be okay. But yeah, depending on what pet-friendly store. Go to a pet store, they don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. But I was like, no, I'm trying to set my dog up for success. And like, obviously it's not going to be that distracting where I'm going to be. So let's just take it easy. Like maybe in, a couple months time, next year, whatever, I can step up to that level of doing it in such a busy environment.
Yeah. So practice. That's kind of the tip number one.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Cause I practiced with you and I think that's how we succeeded. If I went in there, be like, oh, what is she just got to find something? Whatever. She's got this. And then I would know, oh, that's her cue. That's her alert. Oh, okay. I get it now. So practice helps. But, the more you practice, the better. But you don't have to go crazy and spend 6 months every day to do novice or starters or whatever. So what's another tip from your experience?
Well, you got to read all of the rules. Rules and documents that are provided for you when you sign up.
I think I'd rather practice than read the rules. But
we did though. Like when we signed up to a trial, we were like, okay, we got to go on the CKC website, go on like the scent, guidelines or rules book, and read the whole thing. So
now for, again, someone with zero experience in class and not understanding terminology and all of that, just be careful, because when I read the rules, it sounded way more strict and intense than it actually is.
Because they have to cover everything.
And I agree with you, but I'm just saying, I read the rules and it
was very intimidating.
I was just like,
we were like, oh no,
we can't do this. Are you kidding me? Like they
prepared?
have this much time and they can't do this and they can't do that and you can't do this. And I was just like, I was like so nervous. And I think it all depends on where you go and who the judge is. Some of them are a little bit more lenient. Some of them are not. And it's just like anything else you do.
But being
yes,
prepared
it
in a way that like you understand the rules and like how your dog could be disqualified, like for instance if they pee or if they destroy the box or whatever.
And so they did kind of go through a very rough summary of the rules at the thing, just like depending on what level the scent can only be a certain height up. So say I would have known that. I'm like, what if it's like 4 feet in the air? Like, well, it's not. Now that we read the rules, I didn't know it was only up to 2 feet or something like that high. So it does help. Reading the rules. And then at least if there's something that doesn't make sense, if you are going to a class or you know somebody, you can be like, hey, what? I don't understand this part.
Or you can ask the judge, like on the day, right? Like, hey, is this allowed? Is this not allowed? Or whatever. But definitely reading the rules, even though they will probably scare the living crap out of you and you're probably going to feel very overwhelmed. It's good to read them.
I've never read the rules for the whole fly ball
Exactly.
thing.
But do you not think you should?
It's long. I know that's different sport, but there's a lot. Oh my. So I guess we mentioned the next kind of tip a little bit when you read the rules and don't understand, but I guess what's another tip?
Talk to people who you know that are doing scent. Talk to your teacher. If you do send classes, talk to people at the trial. Like I have found out so much by just like chit chatting with people whilst I was at the trial waiting for you to like be done with Maple.
I chit chatted to people and I gained nothing but negativity. It just depends on who the person
so you
and
gotta
how
ask
their
right
day.
questions.
Well, it depends how their day goes.
It depends if you're passionate about the sport like I am.
I'm not. Yeah, so that's I'm
you
just
were just there tagging along.
I am,
like,
and again, it was cool to get the titles for Maple, but I'm like.
You are coming to the next trial.
Oh yeah, because they're at the same level still. It's like, should I Should we secretly fail you so then we don't have to? No, because I'm paying for half of it still. So
exactly.
You're right.
You pay for the trial.
Yeah,
You're not going to like fail on purpose.
So then they're at different levels, you know. Talking to people definitely helped. I guess it was more you talk to people and then I talk to you. It
actually like surprised me how many people that were there were exactly on the same boat as me, of like not really, you know, knowing much either. Like there were some people who were very experienced, like people, especially those who were putting up the whole trial.
And the volunteers and stuff.
The volunteers. Those people usually are very experienced with that sport. But the people who were competing at the novice level, some of these people were also kind of like, you know, oh, I'm just starting with my first dog or whatever. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. And then we would just like bounce off ideas off of each other and talk about all the sports as well. Like I have found out where I can do confirmation classes if I wanted to, because it's such an underground world that you gotta like talk to people to know where things like this are happening. So I just find it pretty cool to pick people's brains.
Well, and so there's a lot of different clubs too. I mean, obviously since we did CKC, it's kind of like purebred dogs. You don't have to do CKC. There's a lot of those. But we were pretty lucky. We actually did a trial for the Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever Club of Canada, which is cool because then there were a lot of tollers there. So it also helped with that, like, you know, we have the passion for the same dog breed. So then it did help open up those conversations, like you said, of other sports. And I'm not saying, you know, you need that, but it's definitely something to look for. Is there's different like clubs. That's who puts them on, is usually like other little clubs or training facilities or something like that. So that was something that helped us too, at least when you're looking for trials. We got lucky. We found the right trial with the right people. Like, and again, there was lots of non-toller dogs, but I would say a good 25% of them were. So those are like our people in a sense, which makes it a little bit easier because it's like, oh, where did you get yours from and how old are they and all that. Where
I guess
it was made it a little easier. That's where I was going with that.
Have a conversation. Because you can connect on that level of having the same breed. And
then but talking to people, I mean, that was not something I did that much. It was just, I was there like, let's pull this off. Come on, Maple, we got this kind of thing. Like, come on, let's do this.
But like, it's also like very reassuring to know that people, like what they found like challenging and them talking to you about like,
well, because this sport, no one's competing. You're only competing with yourself.
Exactly.
So it's not
as like clicky or anything.
Or like,
because
I want to keep the secrets in there. Yeah.
It's you and your dog, and you compete as a team, and you either pass or you fail, right? And that's all it is. It's not as if you get like ranking or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess you compete for time, but it's not that important at that level anyway. But I found everyone to be super friendly. So like I would definitely encourage anyone who wants to get into certain trials to talk to people who do it and who are passionate about it.
Or go to trials and just watch. Like you don't have, you can't watch, but like, you know, if there's one that's close by, go and check it out. I mean, I did that recently with disc because I was like, I don't know if I want to get into it. So I just went to one of the things and I was like, this. And I was talking to people. And so it's something like that. Like if it's something you're into, but you're not sure, you can go and you can do the walkthroughs.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. So this is what we did.
We stayed for the intermediate, the next level to do the walkthrough.
Yeah, because I wanted to
and it was like the same thing. They're just a little bit
the step up
bigger.
From
like
novice.
the space was like the interior, there was just more space. It was in the same location, but they just opened it up a little bit. Same with the outside, the exterior, they just same space, but opened it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
so the search area would be bigger, and then you're working with like
that's getting into technical things.
A toy or
distractions.
Distractor, right?
So talking to people. That's a great one. That's one that
to like put your mind at ease, and to either, you know, it will make you realize what you need to work on, or it'll make you realize that, I'm ready for it. Like I can do it.
So tip number 4.
Do not interfere with your dog.
What does that mean?
And try to set them up for success. So for me, what happened was This was a big thing that I messed up on when we did our external search with Aspen. What I decided to do that was really dumb was
that interfering.
to spray myself with a bug spray.
Yeah, we were outside in like a farm kind of thing, and there were a lot of mosquitoes that morning.
Before we were doing our external search.
I told you to wait. Yeah.
And I should have waited, but I was literally getting eaten alive by bugs. And I was just like, I cannot wait any longer. And like, it was a big mistake because it actually really prolonged how long it took her to find the scent. It also
we think, like, obviously you can't prove that, but it makes sense because everything else she did pretty quickly.
Yeah. It also made her to actually like somewhat like semi-indicate wrongly on certain things, and I just like waited her out to see like, are you sure it's there?
Yeah.
So it really like hindered our, I guess, progress.
Yes.
And how well we did the try. I feel like that last one could have been done a lot better.
Yeah. So of course you did pass though. Still, just we want to say, and but it could have gone a little bit better.
Yeah. So like just remember, don't put any scents on yourself. Do not spray anything on yourself.
I mean, you can put on your deodorant and stuff. Like, that's what you normally do, but it's not like you're going to go do a class covered in perfume and bug spray.
Well,
you know,
I don't know. Some people might do that.
Or if it's something you do all the time, then it's just normal. But yeah. And I think another one, now that you say that, was in another example that the judge said with this setting up or don't interfere. And it is interfering a little bit, but it's not. It's like, let your dog sniff, but don't forget that there's lots of objects that they have to search and help maybe lead them to an object. And that was something that happened is, well, I guess we can literally say where I was. On the interior was under a chair, and the exterior was also under a chair, which like we would have all thought like there's no way it would be under a chair again. And the judge even said like most of you and why you failed is because you were just completely ignoring it. And again, yes, your dog is supposed to find it, but if they were nowhere near the scent, especially outside when wind and all of that, you know, help them.
Guide
like
your
don't
dog
interfere and be like, stay here, but like interfere in the sense of like guide them through and all of that. But you know, and that was something that
like let them just like work.
And so that's
area.
what I didn't know is Maple's exterior was the fastest out of the whole group. Yeah. And because I had that thought of there's no way it's on a chair again, but she found it within like 18 seconds or something like that. And I was like, there's no way. But she gets very like frustrated when she alerts and you're not like rewarding her, like or at least like saying yes. And she's like, it's here, just like, you know, bending over upside down to be like poking at it. And I was like, you know, not very confident, but I'm like, alert? You know, like asking a question. And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh man. And so that's what it is. It's like, don't put your own kind of like thought or what's the word? Not limitations of like, there's no way it should be on that chair again. Yet your dog is like just alerting that it's on that chair.
Like, trust your dog.
Yeah,
trust your dog knows that it knows where it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's the kind of like, don't interfere is like, if they're doing what they should. And so sometimes they do false alert. And so it's like, don't call it out. Like Maple kind of almost did the very first time when we were doing containers.
But this is why you need to practice. If you practice and you know what, you can tell the difference between, hey, my dog is just like super excited and they just kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes you can tell when your dog is false alerting, especially with Aspen. She kind of just looks at me like, I'm like,
And so that's when you teach, I think too, they just want to get a treat and that's why they do it. And that's where you have to like hold out and back to like the first thing of practicing.
Like there's a job here, do your job.
But yeah, and then on the part of that is don't set your dog up for failure. And it's like you said, don't be covered in scents. Don't come in with a 2-foot long leash so they can't, you know.
So they get tangled in the leash.
Or
and
it's too short and they can't like roam and go to this scent because as soon as they have a bit of pressure, maybe your dog's like, oh, okay, I can't go that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't have too much that they're tripping over because actually you lose points as you get up higher.
I was going to talk about, like the leash handling, how important it is in scent. But yeah.
But then I think that also depends on what thing you do, because some of them you don't have to have your dog on leash, some you have to. Some have rules that are really strict, some don't. So that's kind of like again back to the read the rules, because you might have not known that. So, because you had the longer line for Aspen, but we only had one. Well, we have like a 30-foot line. So I was like, well, I'm just going to take Maple's 6-foot leash. Like, it's fine, but she's fast.
Yeah.
And it was fine. Like, at least I could move pretty quick, but like, having the 6-foot leash.
I think it would have been better if you had a long line.
Which I guess we should probably get now that we're thinking about this. If we're going to do it, once we find another trial, we'll go and buy like another 10-foot or something. But so I think that's the biggest thing is pretty much set them up for success. Try not to do anything that will hinder their performance, covering those scents.
Yeah,
don't
make sure that they potty beforehand, so they don't potty whilst they're doing their job. And just make sure that they do the job that they have to do without like interference from you. And the last kind of tip is to enjoy yourself, have fun. Like the worst thing that can happen at this trial is that your dog won't find it. Like that's literally the worst thing that can happen.
And
and it's not a big deal. Like you can always try again.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard to get to these trials because they just sell out so fast. But
I guess it depends on where you're located. But yeah.
You can always do fun matches. Yeah. There are things like that at like dog training facilities where you basically do like a trial and you can win prizes as well
I don't know.
at certain ones. So it kind of feels like a trial, but it's not like
you don't get
serious.
any like official titles, say if it's a CKC one or any sort of ribbons, or maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is have fun. And so that was the thing with me. It's like, which I think made it a little better because the pressure was like there, but then at the same time it wasn't, because I was just like, well, it'd be nice if she found them, but like whatever. Yeah. I'm not like that into this sport, so whatever happens, happens.
We are very competitive naturally, so obviously we want to succeed in sports, and we want them to do well and feel proud. Yeah. So that is, I guess, one thing that kind of like...
But you still have to have fun.
Almost prevents you from having fun because you're there like coming in hard, like being really serious. But you do have to remember like, hey, this is just me having fun with my dog.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
It's just a very expensive hobby.
Well, all dog sports are as well, though. And, and it is what it is.
As long as we have fun, like they will not know that they failed, right?
No, of course not.
The only people that will know is us, right? Yeah. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, but you're right.
Although it's nice to brag.
Of course it is, and take pictures. And then, especially, and I guess we'll show you, if you have fun and you succeed, this is the one we got, you get a cool ribbon. Well, this is the one we went to. Oh, this was Aspen. Well, we wrote on the back.
New title, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, everywhere is different, so we got a few because we got a bunch of different titles for, interior, exterior containers. But, so obviously, have fun. But again, most people are... If you're watching this, you haven't done this, and you probably don't have hundreds and hundreds of ribbons. Yeah. So, like, we're at that stage where every little ribbon counts, and it's so amazing and all of that.
For some people, it's just a silly little ribbon, and it doesn't really matter, and, it's not a big deal. But to us, like, it's nice. It's important. Yeah. Like, to us, that is a memory. Like, hey, we did this together, right?
Yeah, and especially because we wrote on the back, like, because, they leave it blank, but when and what it was and all of that. And so now we can look back and remember and be like, oh, remember that time you covered yourself in bug spray right
like
before.
An idiot.
Oh, yeah, that was full of it. But it didn't matter because we still succeeded. So, yeah, you're right. Having fun, and that goes with anything you do with your dog, of course. No different than high-level competitive trials to just playing with your dog in your backyard or in your basement or whatever. It's always about having fun. But, yeah, that's a big thing.
I think it's just nice to do trials. Like, even if you do just practice in your backyard or at home or whatever, it's nice to do a trial just to kind of, like, test your abilities, right?
Yes. And I think at, like, as a
handler,
a structured
and
kind
as a
of
dog,
thing. Yeah. That's
and
very
to get,
true.
like, recognized.
Because say, for example, you want to practice agility and you buy little jumps and all of that stuff, and you just practice at home and you're like, oh, my dog's good at it. But then you want to be like, are they actually good at it when you combine everything you taught them together? Yeah. I love doing tricks with my dog, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. All right. Could I put them all together and do performance, Like that's kind of, I think, what the trial is like, it's fun. It's the same thing. It's like playing with your dog or doing something with your dog, but in a structured format.
Yeah.
What a trial is.
I feel like if you have never done a trial, you don't really understand the type of like, almost like a high that you get from it.
So I guess back to my experience, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to go. I got to get up at what time to drive all the way down there, which I know because I do all the other trials and competitions with the dog. Well, dogs.
And even though it's not like as like fast-paced and exciting as it is, for instance, to do agility or flyball or whatever, it's not like that type of sport. You still get the same type of high.
You do.
From competing with your dog
and winning,
achieving,
you
and
like
winning
won
things,
in a sense because you're only competing against yourself. Where agility, you don't really win just because they completed the course doesn't mean they win. Flyball, just because your dog was really fast doesn't mean your team's going to win. You know, it's just.
Well, it's these little steps, right, that like just get you closer and closer to like leveling up your skills.
Yeah.
As a handler and as a dog, right? Yeah. So I think that's kind of like cool and incredible.
Yeah.
Really.
So that was something we wanted to kind of talk about for a while now. We just kind of procrastinated on doing this. It was a great experience. We're looking forward to the next one. Hopefully we can get the next trial in the next few months.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like the next step from this is we are trained towards the open title.
Yeah.
Which is 2 cents and a distractor. So we kind of like working on it at home, practicing loads, and hopefully
then we're doing a class. You were doing a class with Aspen. Aspen likes it a lot better than Maple. Like she likes it, but
she's
Maple
really
is she's
super sniffy.
Yeah, she's a lot more sniffy, but we'll see. Maple is a fast learner. She'll get up there. So we'll see. And maybe after we do that, we'll do another episodes on 5 more things on how to continue your thing. But that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. If Scent is something that you've tried or you want to try, let us know how yours went or any questions you have. Yeah, Not saying we know the answer, but we know people.
We know people who know the answers.
Yeah, we can maybe help out.
We would love to help you if this is something you want to get into. I love this sport and I have a lot to say and I have so much experience working with my dogs.
Yeah. And we've only just begun. So you're only going to get more knowledgeable.
I'm excited to learn more.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, that's awesome. But thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.